On today's video, the family and I are gonna head out and get some firewood. We're gonna be cutting, splitting, and stacking. And have any of you ever heard of the plunge cut for cutting down trees? Well, it's probably the safest method to get a tree on the ground without having it barber chair on you. I was just shown this method in the last year or so, and I've been trying to apply it to the trees that I cut down. So stay tuned for that part, because I'll go ahead and show you what that plunge cut actually is. And then we're gonna go ahead and split that wood up with this split fire 2265 log splitter. This is our second season using this 2265, and we love it. A couple things to pay attention to today as we're using this 2265 log splitter. First, this wedge splits logs in both directions. And second, check out the ground clearance on this 2265. Okay, if you've ever towed your log splitter around in the woods at all, through the trails, through the woods, on a two-rut road, you know it is awesome to have that kind of ground clearance as you're doing that. So anyways, guys, thought you might want to come along with us and check it all out. All right, guys, well, we got that cleaned up a little bit, so we got a little room to work. And like I said, we're gonna go ahead and do one of those plunge cuts with this tree. It's got a pretty good lean out that way, which is great because that's where I want it to go. But also, when you get a pretty good lean on trees, sometimes they kind of start to go and fibers start to break and they'll crack upward. And that's when they can barber chair, spin around, flip, hit you, that sort of thing. So we're gonna go ahead, try to get this down on the ground using that plunge cut. I'm kind of new to it. I guess practice makes perfect, so I've been trying to do that when I can. First thing we're gonna do is just cut a small hinge there, and then we're gonna plunge the saw into the side, going toward the hinge, but not all the way. We're gonna leave a little bit of wood uncut near the hinge. We're gonna come back, okay, and then we're just gonna leave a little bit of, the trunk uncut on the back. Then we're gonna come around and just cut that little bit on the back side, and our tree should go that way with almost all the fibers cut, okay, so that should really eliminate the barber chairing. That little bit on the back side, sometimes it's called the strap, sometimes it's called the trigger. But anyways, go ahead and see how this goes. this tree is almost cut completely through. We've got some here, and we've got a little bit right behind the hinge. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Tree should fall. We should have very few fibers breaking, very little chance of a barber chair. So, like I said, very few fibers had to break for this tree to fall, okay? I had this little bit right here. That was our trigger. And then you can see these were the only fibers that really had to break for this tree to go down. So that worked out great. So a lot of times that's gonna work a lot better than cutting your hinge and then coming in here and maybe getting about to here, and then that tree starts to go, and you got all kinds of fibers in the middle that are still attached. They haven't been cut yet, and then they start splitting upward, and that's where you can get a barber chair. So, yeah, this one worked out pretty good. All right, guys. So this Split Fire 2265, this is our second season with it, and we love it. Not only is the cycle time of this wedge extending and retracting really fast, but you can also split in both directions. Okay, that's very unique, but it is very cool and it really speeds things up. And like I said before, check out the ground clearance on this 2265. If you take a look at a lot of other log splitters, you'll see that this hydraulic pump, this hydraulic filter, and all the hoses associated with them sometimes are inches from the ground, okay? And that's no good if you're gonna be taking this with you out in the woods, out down the two-rut roads, down a trail, over brush, over uneven terrain. You don't want that stuff being near the ground because eventually that is gonna cause some problems for you. So this 2265 is awesome. The people at Splitfire were very smart when they built this. They got all that stuff up off the ground with plenty of ground clearance. And just to be clear, this right here is a hydraulically operated log lift. You got some of those really big rounds, you don't want to strain your back, you just roll them up to here and you lift it up using the hydraulics. Even if you're splitting stuff that isn't super heavy or super bulky, you know, stuff that you can lift up easy enough and set it here, that log lift acts as an excellent staging tray for when you're splitting wood. And of course, when you're trailering this, you can lift that up off the ground and get it out of the way too. So there is a lot to love about this Splitfire 2265 log splitter. Too much to mention in this video, okay? But I did do a full review video of this log splitter. I'll leave a link to that if you want to check it out. And I'll also leave a link to the Splitfire website if you want to check it out there too. So I guess we better get back to the firewood.
I would say anything that looks like wood, just leave it sticking out of your pile.
Right.
Come over and zip it off.
Yep.
That looks nice right there with the home.
Yep.
Wow.
What's up?
That's a really hardy sweet fern. It's got like a tree, like base. See it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
These
That's
brush
how I
piles
get it in
like
the
this
face.
make really good habitat for rabbits, partridge.
Mice, so they don't have to live at our place.
Yeah, do that too. All right, hop in.
Perry, come here. She'd probably be happy if she wants
By the satellite dish. So yeah, and there's another pile kind of over by toward the end of the driveway more.
How much wood did you cut?
Me? Putting wood here. Why are you asking me that? Oh, I know. I know. I just want people to, when they do start this area over here, I want it to be so it doesn't bang into that. So that's why I'm building a little thing here. For a starter, I'm gonna put these over this way just.